Hey, Big Love fam. Welcome to SuperFreq. This is a high vibe podcast, y'all, exploring all things frequencies, how they govern form, shape our realities, and are the key to living from your full potential. It's non-woo convos about super woo shit, unpacking what I call the science of self, from body and soul literacy to the power of understanding vibration, higher consciousness, quantum physics, and spiritual psych. Let this podcast become a resource for you on your journey to self-mastery. If you're curious and ready to free your mind, unlock the body, and truly become limitless, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Hallie. This is SuperFreq, awakening for the next gen. Let's go. Hey, everybody. So I've been in a pretty extended period of God knows what, integration, expansion. So I thought that I would do a meditation today with you guys on identity, because it's really, really up in the field right now of letting go, of having to let go of who we think we are in order to be more of ourselves. This is kind of the cosmic joke with living in an inverted reality, where in order for us to feel love, we know we can't do that until we feel hate, right? If we want to feel more joy, we need to experience pain. So I understand why that is, because if we arrived remembering our abundant self, it would kind of be like a movie that always got better. There was no learning. There's no learning. So the all that is learns with friction. It learns when it understands itself from all points of view and all vantage points, especially when you inverse things, the purest evil, the purest potential. But that said, it's causing a lot of instability. So this is a precursor to the awakening series that I'm doing for June called LFG, Let Fucking Go, which is truly about experiencing more of your authentic self and trusting, like really, really trusting the process and not being so deeply attached to what you think is real and who you think you are, including labels, identifications, titles, the amount of money you want to make, manifestations you want to bring in, especially coming off of the May Awakening series, which was all about creation. It truly is a long-term game and an infinite game when it comes to clarifying who you are. Because every time you expand and level up, you're basically just creating a higher def version of you. It's like high def tally, 25.0. And then you get another upgrade and then another upgrade, and you clarify even more and you become more precise and you become faster at making decisions, letting go faster. You become more efficient. And that's when life gets a lot more interesting, because you don't sit in the shit. You just observe, you recognize what's going on, you understand that emotions are accommodating all programs, and then you move on to the next. So I'm going to offer an extended meditation for you guys this week. Lean into it. It's a precursor for the Awakening series. So go join it if you feel like this was really resonating with you. It's going to be a great 3-part call. And for some reason, I had a session, a long interview recorded this week. I had several in the pipeline, and I just didn't feel like launching it. Just didn't feel right. But this does. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you on another sesh. All right, you guys. This is a SuperFreq meditation on the courage and willingness to let go of identity. This is a pretty big topic, and I'll talk a little bit about what identity is, and then we'll dive into the Medi. So identity is really a projection. It's a filter that is accumulated through and from a combination of what you came in here with, so your epigenetic inheritance, and also the conditions that you observed ongoing from your childhood into your adult life. A lot of us will create identities when we don't have a strong sense of self because we really don't have access to who we are. And it was also not cultivated. We didn't know how to cultivate a strong sense of self because typically we may or may not have come from a environment that had an addicted parent or an absent parent, emotionally absent parent, in conjunction with a narcissistic parent or a parent that was so deep in people-pleasing patterns that they were focused so much on others, they weren't able to actually teach you how to show up for yourself. Therefore, you probably spent a majority of your life looking around at other people doing something well and adopted their essence, if you will. Identities are something we adopt that we have to let go when we start our awakening process and get deeper into the awakening process. All the things you think you are not. So this meditation is going to help you understand that from a higher level order and also get down to the root cause at frequency level and remove these things. Okay, let's go. Let's take a deep breath, settling into the body. Noticing the details around you, your 5 senses. Just get deeply present. A lot of times we really don't give ourselves this much time or any time at all to just be and do nothing. Instead, we get really distracted and lost in what we think we need to be doing. So you guys settle in on my side, generating frequencies that are actually quite soft, not in power, just in I guess essence. They're just soft and gentle, but feminine and still quite precise from what I have been told. So I'm generating these frequencies and giving an umbrella type bandwidth so folks who are at different levels can find their right harmonic and just resonate with it. Grounding you further into the 0 point here. Good. So you may hear me yawn or take deep sighs and breaths and things like that. That is how I am working at frequency level and energy level right now. That may change, but that's what it is for now. So if you're familiar with spatial referencing, it is about finding yourself in space-time. So imagine that wherever you're sitting, that there is a point above you, below you, to the left and to the right of you, and in front of you and behind you, so inside and out. This is essentially your own matrice. It's your own 4-quadrant space-time world. And by identifying objects at the end of those points, in whatever room you're in, and then approximating the distance of those objects to the center of your body, your spirit, your higher self knows where to find you here in this reality, in this 3rd dimensional density. So you can open your eyes, look around, you can find those objects, orient yourself, close your eyes again, take a big inhale, hold it, and then exhale, settling further into your body. Really good. So the idea of creating a mastermind is actually a bit expired as we move into this newer paradigm, this higher level order of consciousness. It's really about owning and understanding your own individuality. And yes, there are people like myself and others to help be a guide and a way shower and like a little booster, a little frequency booster. And then eventually you learn to fly on your own without the reliance on anybody else, because really all you need truly is your connection to your higher self. And that's it. As you move along your journey, you will find that path will reveal itself that is meant for you. So when we are adopting identities of a projection of who we think we are, it's based off of information that isn't typically from the highest level perspective, because we don't really have access to that. So I'm kind of going to shake up a lot of stuff with regards to how you have thought about yourself before. So when you move into these identity deaths, they don't feel so scary. You actually welcome them. You're like, oh, phew, let go of that version of myself. Fabulous. There's actually a really beautiful thunderstorm going on right now where I am. It's very supportive of transformational work. Very good timing. Okay, so now we're going to move to the chest. So the sternum. Just focus on your sternum. I'm going to move, working here on fear patterns. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, mixed with a little bit of anticipatory anxiety. Ooh, who am I going to be after this? So there's a kind of a bundle here of anxiety, fear of change, and then also how long is all of this going to take? Well, very, very specific outcome parameters and timelines. So that control is also mixed with anxiety of wanting to know and having to feel safe, understand. So this is connected to the ego filter. Pay attention to all this, things that I'm saying for your mind, for context, but just focus on the body, on this part of the body here. I'm going to untangle this and then start working on it. So just relax, stay centered, keep focusing on your senses. Okay, now moving to the heart space. Still untangling this very sticky combination, just at a deeper level. So center of the chest, heart space. The heart actually has its own consciousness. I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but the quantum heart is faster than the speed of thought, faster than light. It's actually faster than consciousness of the all that is. Love, this quantum heart, is truly its own highest vibratory order. By moving into trust of self, it lives here. So when we make decisions, when we're guided, when we come online with our body, and then the heart actually ends up opening up in multiple different ways and kind of comes on last from what I've seen and experienced myself. You have your heart, yes, you're making decisions from that, but there's a high heart, like a high consciousness that kind of connects and starts to come online. So removing these fear patterns here and then diving way deeper into true trust of self and true trusting of the process of unfolding and letting go. That was actually quite fast. So now in the throat space, there's like this excitement a little bit. So it's really good. So center of the heart, that chest space, and then up to the throat, that area. Whew. Okay, we're going to go even deeper. So deeper into the chest space still. So this is a collective pattern around surviving. Everyone who is listening to this, who's on this call, has had an alternate or parallel lifetime reality of deep levels of survivability coming from famine, war, or abandonment. So you've had to take on an identity that wasn't yours or create one in order to survive. This is at literally blueprint level for everyone. So I'm going to go in and start working on this. Stay really focused and relaxed, please. Thank you. So there's a question that came in telepathically of how is she doing this? So I work at the Timeless, who I am with me being able to come online. I move
beyond the veils of time, and I work at the timeless, where everything is happening right now. So anyone and everyone who listens to this at any moment that they're listening to it is getting the exact information that they need in the now, beyond time, regardless of when it's listened to. So that is the answer to that question. It was kind of wowy to me too, honestly, when I started understanding this stuff. I was like, wait, how is that working? But it does, and it's kind of wild. This is at DNA level, this program. So I'm just going to get really quiet, you guys, okay? Okay, so now focusing on the back of the brain stem into the skull, the lower part of the skull, the occiput, I believe that's called. Resetting the survivability information here, the reptilian part of the brain. Still in this brainstem and occiput. Resetting this here, upgrading it to present time to accommodate this shift in DNA. Then we are going to go to the center of the brain. Okay, so now we're going to move to the center of the brain, the pineal gland, pituitary, and the occipital lobes, something like this. So the eyes are part of the brain, the pineal gland is the projector, and the pituitary gland, it's kind of like a highway. It takes the information and moves it into the adrenals and the rest of the body. So create like a triangle between the back of the eyes, the pituitary, and the pineal gland. It's okay if you don't know where they are. Just third eye, about an inch inside of so from the forehead, right? Like kind of where your third eye is, and then about an inch inside the brain, into the brain. And then create a little triangle. Just go, okay, wherever the pituitary is in the back of my eyes. That'll be good. Focus on that area. Very good. Thank you. We're going to, I'm going to basically decalcify this in a way and upgrade it. Some of your pineal glands are like inflated, or they're collapsed, or they're kind of an older projector. So we need to help you see yourself differently. That's the point. How we see ourselves is so important. It's really everything. That's really what the game of awakening is perception. How you perceive yourself and the reality that you're creating. And eventually you change from having a turtle perspective to like a giraffe. And then you can modulate anywhere in between there, on either side, and you just can see from different vantage points, different possibilities and opportunities and paths to take for yourself. So your fundamental authenticity reveals itself by removing all the things that aren't you. That's really what the path is about, is deprogramming, removing, and then coming back to yourself and meeting yourself as if it was the first time, in a deeper level of remembering. Okay. All right, you guys. Wrapping up here. So just pay attention to the xiphoid process, which is about that. It's like that fleshy point at the base of the sternum, and about 3 to 4 inches below that liver on the right side, underneath the rib cage, is essentially where your emotional pain body is. So by resetting this, it will help facilitate this memory, removing this memory out of the physical emotional body. And still, I've also cleared it out of the spirit body as well. But this will just do this really fast and then leave you to it. Moving you even further into the 0 point. So take a deep breath, hold it, let it out with a big sigh. All right, you guys, really, really good work. Feel free to listen to this as much as you need and train to it. And I will see you again on another SuperFreq Vibe Higher meditation. Take care.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. Please make sure to leave a review and follow the fun on social media, because that's how it works in this world. And in the meantime, get your freak on. I'll see you in the next session.